Yeah, it's definitely a big sacrifice, but there could be worse situations. I'm not saying I'm not privileged and blessed to do what I do, but it comes with a cost. And to be the best, you need to be selfish, and that's just a given. In anything in life, you need to make sure that you're, putting your best foot forward. If that means more hours in the gym, if that means, more recovery, if that means, working on your mental, it's all a part of it. So yeah, you do, have days where oh man, I haven't been home at all. I know son's playing up or he's being difficult and I can't physically be there to help. And even if I am there, sometimes you're not present, you're just doing what you can because you need to be focusing on other things. Sometimes you've got to be one-track minded, just because, yeah, that's the kind of formula and routine that I've always known.
Oh, it was crazy. So me and Kai were together in the first lockdown. I ended up pregnant and we were really excited about that. And then Kai had his fight in Fight Island. That's right, he was away. So I was 20 weeks pregnant and I just had like my scan where you get to see everything and find out whether you're having a boy or a girl. And then he had his fight and he lost, so he got choked out in that fight, and that was tragic. And then he was away for like another 4 weeks because of MIQ. He came home after that because leading up to the fight as well, he was living in his gym, so we'd been apart quite a bit, like while I was pregnant.
So we have a son, Kobe, he's nearly 2, flying by so fast. It only feels like yesterday he was born. And it's just like I said, you need a wife that knows what it takes to become a fighter, because when my son was born, a few hours later, I was in the gym. It was actually a dream birth. So I've heard so many stories of this is the longest day of your life. It's going to be not just a few hours, a few days of labour, and it wasn't like that at all. Shards went into labour about 6 o'clock. And in the morning, and then we drove down to Waitakere Hospital, and by 7:30 our son was out. Shards has given birth, and I was holding my son Kobe. And then our family was in the hospital room. I just remember it like it was yesterday, and then a few hours later, because I had a fight about 2 weeks after that, I had to be in the gym because I had a spider, and she said, just go and come back. I know you'll only be gone for an hour tops, and that's the kind of love and support that she has for me, because she knows what's involved when I take a fight. I have to be all in. I have to make sure I'm putting my best foot forward, not just in the gym but outside. My meals, resting when I can, and just to prepare me for the next day or for what's to come. So yeah, I was in the gym for my spider at 11, and then an hour later I was back in the hospital with my beautiful family.
Honestly, like for me, it gets me clucky seeing Kobe run around. He has this thing I call his King Julian hop, like a lemur. It's like, and he hops constantly and gets speed, and apparently gets the speed from his mom because she was a track star. But yeah, honestly, like he's got his shit sussed. He's got his head screwed on right. I'm a wild card. I like to live crazy. I'm different. But at the same time, I do pretty well for myself. But I look at him and see how he handles his business, how he handles his family affairs, how he handles his work. And I'm just like, yo, this guy's got his head screwed on, with the right guidance, he can take over the world.
Yeah, that's interesting, because that's an interesting one, because Kai, having his first born, especially going in the path that he was quite rapidly as well, and being able to have his young Kobe, it was quite nice to see, because I'd ask him questions like, man, how did you manage your sleep? How did you manage being able to put aside time for your young fella? And time to recover yourself as well. I've had chats with him about that so that I could learn too, you know. It's quite an interesting thing to see for Kai to do so well as well, and to be able to mix that in with his career.
Yeah, definitely. Just asking more of myself. So I'm trying to just be the best version, and obviously my son's going to be watching this when he's older, and I'm teaching him life lessons. 2 weeks after my son was born, I went over to Fight Island in Abu Dhabi on Yas Islands, and I was away for 6 weeks. So with a newborn, you know, a new family, but I've got to go over and do my job and make sure I'm supporting my family the best way I know how. And it was a big sacrifice, obviously fighting and then doing the 2 weeks quarantine, being away, not being there present and actually helping. But this is the bigger picture, right? Just trying to further my career, make sure that I'm putting food on the table, and so we ultimately don't have to worry. We don't have to struggle.
Maybe that's on your next shirt.
We're just doing some portraits.
You ain't gotta flex like that. Wait, you know that. And you ain't gotta walk like that. Wait, you know that. And now I gotta talk like that. Wait.
I think we're a little bit more conservative to the likes of like America and some of the places in Europe. And it's just going to need a bit of time. But look, the work that the boys are doing, look at the inroads we've made in the last few years with getting success and forcing ourselves into the hearts and minds of the people. They have to pay attention. Very difficult, filled with danger. You basically have to continually go out and fight these murderers. And then somehow come out on top of that. Your family puts everything into you, your friends, your family, your team. You have to do that 5 or 6 times, get yourself to that position again. Then when you get yourself to that position, then you have to go through the hardest physical and mental training of your entire life. And then you have to jump in the cage and you have to try and do it again.
If you want to put it in simple terms, it's not a sport. We put our lives on the line. Like, I can take damage, lifelong damage after a fight. Like, that's the kind of sport that we're in. That's the kind of, that's just combat sport in general. Now we're fighting the best in the world, you know, obviously being comfortable and financially a bit more freer. And yeah, I'm so blessed to have the opportunities to do that, but fighting's not everything for me.
Oh, he's like the biggest softie. It's like, he is very cute, him and Kobe. I'm low-key a little bit jealous of their relationship because they're so tight. And it just shows, like, Kobe is absolutely obsessed with him. Like, he's very attentive, super fun, super playful, like, just everything he does, like the way he speaks and the way he tells me things he wants to do, like everything he wants to do, you know that Kobe is in his thoughts, and that's why he's trying to better himself, or just, yeah, he's a very good dad. Like, we are very blessed, maybe a little bit spoiled, but blessed.
Oh, bring it back, bring it back, bring it back. Whoa. Swimming in Babylon River, Mike. So much sauce, you be killing them all. You don't have to show face for the people. First, she was feeling my flow. Get it back home. Bring it back, bring it back. Whoa.
That's where I do my best, when I'm under pressure, when I have so much on the line. That's just my mentality. That's all how I've always been. I've always been a kind of all in, just chase it kind of mentality.
Privacy for me, yeah, definitely changed. I know Kai posts me and he posts Kobe, which is cool, like it's nice to have his family, but also at the same time, like I've seen just comments about like, oh, your baby's got a big head, or just like, sorry, little comments that really like bug me. I don't try and control what he posts, but I just tell him, like, limit what you put out there. Like, if you're not putting stuff out there, then no one can say anything about it. I'm usually pretty outgoing and out there, but since I've been with Kai, honestly, UFC fans, I don't know, it's made me kind of pull back a little bit and just be really picky, like who I speak to and what I post, what I put out there, because yeah, people are pretty gross, the things they say. Now it's just like I've just turned everything off, turned my messaging off. No one can even like comment or no one can say anything to me.
Yeah, definitely becoming a father makes you feel a lot more worried of not myself but my son. You know, all the dangers around him. You know, that always plays in the back of my mind, having a family, knowing that I need to be there. Not like always present, but I need to always come back, you know. If I'm going off to work or if I'm going overseas to fight, yeah, I just know I need to be home and be in his life, be in my wife's life, be in my family's life, and know that, yeah, I'm a light for a lot of them, you know. My cousins, as well as my teammates, they all look up to me in some way. So I know that I need to keep turning up. And you have bad days just like anyone else, where you're just like, oh, this is too much, or I've got too much on my plate, or I've got so much pressure on me. You just got to remind yourself, be kind to yourself. Know that this is temporary. All of this around you, all the stuff that's happening in your life. And just kind of, I guess, build yourself up. Like, nah, I'm proud of you. I'm proud of you. Like, this is the talks that I have in my head. I say, like, I'm proud of you, bro. Like, keep going, keep pushing. You're here because you're born to do this. Like, sometimes I have mental battles.
We all have stories, surely. You know, I mean, Kai went through some challenges with the bullying, but he reframed it. You know, he didn't surrender to that. He used that as fuel to put him on the right path. And more importantly, the thing about him with regards to him going through some of those challenging times with the bullying, he hasn't become one of them. That's the ultimate credit to this guy. He has the ability to knock people out, but he conducts himself like a true gentleman, man. That's what I'm really proud of. For me, it's titles, but it's also helping a young man become a pillar in the community and someone for a lot of kids to look up to. You know, regardless of what you've been through, that doesn't define you. It's what you do in moving towards that future. The fundamentals for Kai is that he was clear on his vision, and he was prepared to outwork anyone else. And there's a little saying that I share with the boys, what's done in the dark will shine in the light. And he is prepared to work his ass off. So he has a conviction to that vision.
In this wānanga, we had pretty confronting stats that 1 in 3 Māori have thought about taking their lives. Some days you'll be like, oh man, why am I even here? And I think they call it the imposter syndrome, where you start to get into this headspace where I don't deserve this, or I'm not good enough, or you have this self-doubt. And I feel like it's natural, and it's just about having the tools to kind of pull yourself out of that headspace and remind yourself. And for me, a big thing to do that is tapping into tikanga and tapping into that kind of space where you know all your family's behind you, and you know that they're going to be here regardless of how you're feeling. Well, having my sons definitely pushed me to start. This is something that if I don't learn it myself, we're going to lose that, lose this culture generationally. And I feel like it's my right to learn this. We've been learning why there's a disconnection in my upbringing, because my parents thought if I guess, leave my tikanga and my te reo when I was younger and just focus on, I guess, the westernised version of how to progress in life, that was the way forward. And yeah, I wouldn't be here today if they didn't, because there's so much that goes into this, but now in my life I can kind of put things that make sense, and the journey that I'm on, I've already been doing a lot of, I guess, tikanga subconsciously, and now I can actually put that to play where, let's say before a fight, I can do a karakia and welcome on the god of war and let go of the god of peace. And I've always been subconsciously doing that, tapping into that warrior version of myself. My purpose is a lot bigger than just for my own reasons. It's because I'm, I guess, doing it for my son, my family, as well as the next generation that are looking at me and knowing, okay, if he can do it all the way from Aotearoa, New Zealand, why can't I? And that's the truth. The limitations you put on yourself, it's all in your head and it's all on you. You're the only reason you're stopping yourself.
So we're out here in Tahiti. MMA's only just been legalised in Tahiti.
So I'm just sharing my passion with the Polynesian youth here because we have big problem with drugs. So to get them away of trouble, so we try to put them in the fight and make a mini show of MMA here in Tahiti.
I can pass down these experiences that I've had and help share with the new wave coming through.
There was a long grieving historical trauma that took place in Tahiti. Dad was sent over there representing Te Ariki Nui to lift the curse of Tahiti.